Hey guys, this is InfernoKazama here. I'm going to be giving you a walkthrough of the studio, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so basically what you're seeing here is my stream setup. You see I have the Elgato green screen right here. I'll show that in just a second. I have my chair right here. So let's start with the most important part of this build, the system itself. The system has built in a Cooler Master HAF 932, which is a full tower case built around maximum airflow. It's a very old case, but it works for my purposes. I have an add-on fan controller, which I can, if I want to, change the LEDs to any color I want, but I choose red just because it's my favorite color and it matches the scheme of everything else. Have two red LED fans on the front. This one's a 140 millimeter, which I have technically ghetto put in here to make a dual front intake. But the other one is a 200 millimeter fan. And you get right here, I have a LED inside. It's very difficult to actually see the inside of the chassis, but I'm just showing you the actual case at the moment. What the system has in it is a Ryzen 5 1600X with a RX 480 and 16 gigs of RAM on a B350 motherboard from Gigabyte. Next, we're going to go to my peripherals. Now, my peripherals are not that expensive or even fancy at the moment. I have a Blackout gaming keyboard, I guess you could say. It's not a mechanical keyboard, it's just a regular membrane keyboard. You can buy these at Walmart. I think they still sell them. That was where I got mine from. Then I have this mouse right here. Now, this mouse is a steel. It is actually technically an RGB mouse, but I have it set to pulsating red. You can't really keep it on actual red. But I bought this for $11 and it's worth $60. I got it on like a sale, so I immediately picked that up because the other mouse that I had was, the scroll wheel was dying on it. So I picked this up and found that as a steal. And then for my purposes of streaming, I have the Razer Tartarus. Now you're wondering, well, why do I have the Razer Tartarus? I actually didn't buy this. I actually found it through my roommate who said I could use it. So I've been using it as my stream deck. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I got 16 buttons that I can use for anything, and then I've also got 3 different modes to choose from, or actually 6 or 7. It just depends on the program and stuff, so I can really use that as a hotkey, and that's exactly what I do for OBS. Now, I've got some decent quality speakers right here, along with a sub down here. Then you see my headphones, which are an open back design. They are not closed. I kind of like to be able to hear what's going on around me in case something happens in the house. I need to make sure that I am able to be aware of my surroundings at all times. All right, so next we've got my monitor, my main monitor. This is an Acer monitor. It's a 144 Hertz, 24 inch. It is one of the panels that's G-Sync compatible, which means that this is a FreeSync monitor because I'm running an AMD system, but it's one of those monitors that's able to be used with G-Sync if it's been tested to run with G-Sync. So if I were to get an NVIDIA card down the line, or if I was ever wanting to get an NVIDIA card, this is exactly what I would use for my driver. I did have a 27-inch, which is right here, but yeah, it died, so I needed a new one. All right, and then I've got my side monitors. Both of them, they're the exact same. They are both 1080p, 21.5-inch Acer monitors running at 60 FPS. They are IPS panels, both of them. So I can color grade my work, and they're pretty decent as far as color accuracy goes. I wouldn't go as far as to say that they're like really accurate, but they're pretty decent. IPS monitors usually have a very good color reproduction, whereas the TN monitors usually don't. But so far, this TN monitor that I have, the gaming monitor, is actually a lot better than that one, because you can control the black levels and get the colors right. It almost looks like a IPS panel when you're looking at it dead on. For gaming peripherals, I've got my Xbox One Elite controller, which has the removable thumb grips and stuff like that for certain games. I just keep the long ones on because I like it like that. And then I've got my two RGB controllers. I have them named differently, but this is basically the one that goes to the actual lights inside the PC. And this one is the one that illuminates the back. So if I hit this, give it 1 second, and there. And turning on. And I have it set to red because black and red is my favorite two colors mixed together. So there we go with that. All right, basically that's about it. And then the webcam right there, it's a Logitech C920. If you guys have watched my streams and you see the quality of my setup as far as like the webcam, you won't believe this is actually a C920 that I have. But the reason for that is this. I have a 1600 lumens lights in each of these. And then I also have another 800 lumens in these. Now, whenever I stream, I turn these on and it'll cast down on me, giving me a little bit of light. And I use both of them directly on me, like the lights are shining pretty much directly on me. Then I've got my blue Yeti Blackout edition with a custom foam pad on it for basic wind protection and stuff like that. And it's mounted on a Rode arm. I can't remember the name of it specifically, but this is pretty ubiquitous with a good arm stand. I had another one that was fairly cheap, and I know why now it was cheap. The thing pretty much fumbled under the weight of the Blue Yeti. So yeah, you'll definitely need a sturdy stand if you want to use the Blue Yeti. I actually still have the actual stand that the Blue Yeti came with. Whenever I go live streaming, I have a clock right here showing me what time it is, because as you notice, I don't have the taskbar on the separate screens. So this will keep me, and this will let me know what time it is so that I can actually do what I need to do. I have a wireless charging pad for my phone. Now, whenever I use this Elgato green screen, all I have to do is undo these two things right here. And open it up and just start lifting it up. And there you go. Now, it's very difficult to really get a good idea as to how big this is, but I'm at the very end of my room at the moment, and that's how tall it is. To give you guys another perspective of the green screen, this is what you would see if you looked right beside me. There's the green screen right there, and there's my entire setup. Of Of course, I don't have all the lights on, but you get the picture. And for stowaway, all I do is I just push down and it immediately comes down. And I just, sometimes you have to give this a little nudge in order to actually go all the way down. And then you just close the latches, close both the latches, and these legs pivot so it just goes straight in line, and you can just basically put it anywhere you want to. It's a very good quality product. I haven't had any issues with it at all. I've got in here a flash drive for, you know, whatever purposes I need. But really what I want to show you guys is what my actual audio setup is. Because I have a unique audio setup for my stream. So I have the ability to use both my actual speakers and the Blue Yeti for output. So how it works, or how I use my audio setup, is all game sounds and my voice, because I monitor it through the I monitor the voice, my actual voice, through the Blue Yeti speakers. Blue Yeti actually has a speaker output that is right here, like right there. That's the speaker output right there. And I have it going along down this arm, all the way down. And the speaker output goes, now it's going to be very difficult for you guys to see this, but I'm going to try to show you the best I can. All right, so it goes down here into a splitter. This splitter right here. This splitter splits the audio signal from my headphones. So mainly it goes from my headphones to the splitter. And the splitter splits out the, it's basically connecting both audio channels into one so that I can actually hear it. So this one goes to the actual speakers, which I use, and I put it in the actual headphone jack of the actual speaker so that I can still hear everything in the actual headphones. And then of course the Blue Yeti, I have that plugged in as well. And they each have their own dedicated output. And see, the thing is about the stream is that if something is too loud for me, I can always turn it down, because I have manual control over the volume of that actual part, which is something that I desperately need, because sometimes I'm like, okay, I don't want the music to be too loud, but if I have the music too low on your guys' end, you won't even be able to hear it. But it doesn't matter when it's on my end. So that's the reason why I do that. So if you have a Blue Yeti and an external pair of speakers, you can technically do what I'm doing in OBS to actually make that effect possible. Now, there is another little piece of the puzzle I want to show you guys that I've just done very recently. And that's the cable management in the back, because if you notice, there's no cables. You can't really see any cables from here. And that's kind of the reason why I did what I did. So, 1 second and I'll show you guys the back. All right, and here's the back of the system. Now, it didn't take me very long to do this at all, because if you've noticed, I've got little mover feet on my actual system, because I kind of like to be able to get back here whenever possible if I ever need to change components out. But here's how I have this system set up at the moment. There's the LED backlight going all the way across this back. And then this is the most interesting part of this entire build. Now, it's very difficult for me to actually show this all the way around, but basically, I have a Velcro strapped. I have Velcro strapped, or Velcroed, I should say, basically actual hangers to the back of the system. And then I have cable channeled everything through here. And yeah, some of the wires you can still see right here, but it's all managed. Whenever I push the system back, you can't see anything. I got these managed to the point to where you can't really see anything. Again, like I said, from the front, there's no real, you can't really see any of the wires, which is exactly what you want to see. And I have everything. I have 2 power strips. I have one going all the way into another one, and then it goes all the way into here. This way, I don't have to, well, the moment I hit this and just unplug it, everything goes off. But another reason I did that is that way I can have the stuff that can be plugged in right here, and then not have to be fighting for room when I'm trying to actually do my cable management. As you can see, I have plenty of space to work around here, and I have a lot more because this cable is not even to its fullest length. So I have even about maybe another 6 inches to a foot before I am at the cord's length end. So now that you guys have seen my setup, I'm going to show off the room. So let me put this desk back and I will show you the rest of the room. All right, and before I forget, there is one little caveat I did forget to show you guys. And that is the actual desk itself. Now you guys have been seeing it, but if you don't know what it is, it's the IKEA Frede desk. If I'm saying that incorrectly, forgive me. It's literally spelled off F-R-E-D-D-E. It's literally spelled F-R-E-D-D-E. So if I'm misspelling it, or if I'm missaying it or mispronouncing it, well, there you'll now know why. But this desk is a technical 2-PC workstation setup. And you can see that if you look right here, the actual little stands right here are for an actual mid-tower PC. However, I have a full tower here. So yeah, originally I had an FX 8350 or 8370 system, and I was looking to actually use a secondary PC. And I did that for about maybe 2 to 3 months, and then Ryzen came out, so I immediately scrapped that plan. And yeah, but basically this desk supports, technically officially supports 2 monitors up to 27 inches, which you can see that I have 3, so that is irrelevant. But the reason why they say it only supports 2 is technically this monitor right here is hanging off the edge just a little bit, and it's hanging off the edge right here just a little bit. So in case you really wanted it flush with the entire back of the thing, you could do that. Also, these things are removable. However, I used to use them for these. I may or may not remove them just simply because, but yeah. They can be used to store stuff or put speakers on. The speaker wires here just weren't long enough. That's the only reason why I'm not using it like that. And same thing with that side. You can use it for a different thing. You can also take these panels off if you want to make it whatever you like. This platform can be raised, but I have it on the lowest setting because, yeah. All right, that's pretty much that desk covered. So let's go to the room. Forgive me if it's a little bit dirty, but this is my bed. This is where I sleep. I actually do live and sleep and work in here. So yeah. I use a camouflage blanket as my sheet because it's very soft. And I have a bedroom sheet. I have blackout, well, not blackout, but almost 98% coverage of black. Only 2% of light from the daylight gets in here. So I can be color controlled. So if I want to stream in the daylight, it doesn't affect my colors at all. I got my nightstand and my futon couch, which I have basically a dedicated sort of pseudo living room set right here. I got my 40-inch TV hooked up with a pair of, inexpensive $20 speakers with a sub down here, along with a Bluetooth speaker up here so that the mids can get a little bit better, because the mids on these two speakers are not really that great. Then I have my Xbox 360. It's not plugged up here. I really don't use it. I used to have it up here, but I don't really play the Xbox 360 all that much, if at all. So I just decided to retire that from my actual stream setup. From time to time, I will eventually put it back up here. If I want to play any of the games that I have down here, which are not very many. Of course, got a trash can. And then I've got this, which is my miscellaneous stuff. I've got like all my, basically all of my miscellaneous screws stuff. I've got still some of the parts that I need to sell in here. And this is where I put my Elgato green screen. And then all I have to do is just close this and bam. You would never know any of this existed, which is kind of neat, but I was just using the rod that the previous owners had in this house, so might as well use it for something. My dresser, nothing too imaginable. Then this coffee table, nothing too special. And my closet, which I'm not going in there to show you guys because why would I do that to you? But anyway, that's pretty much it. There's not really much going on in this room. From looking at it like this, this is how the room looks. It's a fairly decent sized room. It's kind of like a studio loft in a way. It's the biggest room I've ever lived in. I've lived in a room about the size of that futon. So, not the actual size of the futon, but I'm talking about as far as the width. I have lived in a room about that size. And yeah, this is about the biggest room I've ever lived in, so yeah. I would show you guys the rest of my house, but I'm not going to do that. It's just not worth it. But anyway, guys, I do hope you enjoyed looking at my stream setup and what I achieve. If you guys have any questions, comments, or anything like that, I am usually live Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays around 8 to 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Times can change due to various things, but I'm trying to stay consistent. So if you guys want to chat with me or anything like that, feel free to pop in my Discord or my Discord, my Twitch, my Twitter, anything like that, and all links will all be down below in the description, so you guys will be able to check them all out. But again, guys, if you appreciate my content, feel free to drop a follow on my Twitch page. Feel free to drop a like on this video. Feel free to drop a subscribe on this video. That'd be nice, because I'm a very small content creator. I do what I can. I don't really post a whole lot of videos to YouTube, so whenever I do post videos, you guys will see them here. But anyway, I'm mostly a Twitch streamer. You guys can see me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, usually. I will try to keep you guys updated on when I'm not going to be live. But just keep a lookout for me. Anyway, peace.